like as soon as like it hit 12 o'clock and I'm like, we're in the new year, it's like something switched in me where I was like, okay, like everything that I said that I was gonna do, like it is happening this year. All the things like that I've written down, like in my journal or like on my phone notes, like it's all happening this year. So if I want it to all happen, like I gotta get to stepping, you know. Like there's no like, well, I can like take a couple of days off or whatever. Like no, like we gotta hit the ground running. So that's why I'm like, oh sorry, that's why I just wanted to make like a quick little video. I guess this is kind of like an update video where I'm like, I am still just as determined as I was when I made my first video to right now. Right now, my goal, like I said, like I'm trying to like, get out of here. I'm trying to get out of here. I don't want to be in my hometown anymore. So sorry to my hometown. Nothing wrong with my hometown. It's just, you know, when you've just been somewhere for like so long that you're like, okay, like I've done everything here. Like I've done it all. I can't grow anymore here. Like there's no room. I've hit the ceiling. I've hit the ceiling many times. Like if I was a flower, I would be like folded over already. Like because there's just no more room in the space that I'm in. So I'm like, oh well, like we just start over somewhere else. So that is my goal. I'm looking at jobs like where I want to move to. Have I said? Oh yeah, I've said that I want to like live in like LA and stuff. Okay, so I'm trying to look for jobs over there, but I'm like, okay, well, I want to make sure to get a job that obviously like is not gonna run me down, but I also don't want to get a job that's too closely related to something I'm like super into, for various reasons. Of like, for me, for some reason, instead of like being so closely aligned to something or like going into like some kind of like social media field or whatever, like for me, I can't do that because it like burns me out, which seems odd because it's like, well, you love doing that, why would it burn you out? And it's like, well, it's burning me out because I'm so focused on doing social media for someone else or for a company or whatever, that I'm like exhausting my energy doing it on that like by the time that I get home, I'm like, well, I don't want to even look at anything social media related because that's what I was doing all day already. And it's like, I just have no motivation to like do it for myself. Like even like, it's like, oh, what you're doing for yourself? And it's like, I don't know. I don't even want to do that right now because it's like they're too closely like in sync. Does that make sense? I feel like it makes sense to me, but like I'm also just bad at explaining things. Also kind of like at war with I guess like my feelings and stuff with family. Not, it's one of those like they mean well kind of things, but I've kind of heard it so often that it doesn't really faze me anymore when I'm like, I'll get told like, oh, like these are the like memories that we need to be making with each other and spending time with each other is so important. And I'm like, yeah, I'm like, absolutely. But it's like when they say it, it kind of feels like, well, I mean, surely you can't just move far away, or, you know, if you move, like, you still have to come back and visit often. And it's like, like, obviously, like, when I move away, I'm not gonna just abandon my family, and like, I'm not gonna neglect them or anything, but I also don't want to be like guilted into spending time with them or guilted into feeling like I'm not doing enough just because I'm now putting myself above them. And even just saying that sounds like really harsh, but I think that's just because that's how I am, where I've always put others before me. Like, I've always put myself last. I'm like, I could be like hanging off a cliff or something, and I'd be like, don't mind me. I can hang here. Like, it's fine. I'm fine. Worry about yourself. Like, you can get me after. But like, yeah, that's just how, like, especially with family, you know, like my friends too, but especially my family, like, I will drop anything for them. And last year I have started like pulling back, like, not even like pulling back like a lot, like I've just been pulling back like slowly, and it's kind of been like ruffling feathers, like not always like outright like outbursts of like, oh, like, how dare you, but it's kind of like side eye, you know, it's like, oh, like, you said no to me. I don't know how I feel about that. And it's like, well, trying this new thing called boundaries, which is hard for me to do because I have always been just such a people pleaser that I'm just always like, yes, absolutely, I will do whatever you say, or I will agree with you on this and other things of the sort. And now I'm beginning to form my own opinions, or I'm beginning to say, actually, I don't have time to do that. I'm kind of want to focus on me. And it's, yeah, not it's not sitting right with people, and it's making me emotional because like I said, I know that people mean well, and you know, they are so used to me just being like such a pushover and stuff that I end up feeling bad when I am not able to do something, or, you know, in the moment it feels good. I'm like, oh, like, I did it. I said no to something. And then like within an hour, I feel so guilty about it. And I feel bad because I'm like, oh, how could I have done that? Like, that wasn't, like, I could make time or whatever. And it's like, I can't, I can't do that anymore because it's affecting me more than I think I would like to admit. So I think that is something that, like, the distance between us is going to be such, like, it's going to be so beneficial for me, because there's a quote somewhere, it's like by Oscar Wilde, I always forget it, but it's kind of like a thing where it's like, you need to learn to be alone so that way you learn to like be yourself and not be like other people, or like not be like the people around you. I'll put the quote somewhere, but it's something along those lines. And it's like, I'm constantly like with someone. Like, it's very rare that I'm alone. I've never even lived alone, so that's gonna be a whole another ballpark for me. And that's also something that people will be like, but won't you be lonely, but won't you be this, and what about this, and what about that? And it's like, let me learn. Let me learn to be alone. Like, how am I expected to learn? Like, I'm just expected to be like, okay, like instantly, like, I'm just gonna move from here and then just move in with another roommate, or I'm just like I'm just always gonna have a roommate. Like, I'm never gonna learn to like just live on my own. Like, I don't want to do that. I want to be on my own, like, so bad. And I think one of the things that people expect to happen is like, oh, she's just gonna stay home all the time and just isolate herself, and she's just never gonna leave, and she's gonna rot in her house or like whatever. And I'm like, dang, like, y'all really just don't believe in me? Like, you have no hope for me or what? And it's, I mean, obviously, like, it's hurtful, you know, like, give me space to grow, or space to, like I said, learn. Like, just let me learn. I can't learn if I'm constantly being told that I can't do something, or I won't be able to do something, or I should be scared to do something. And I can't live like that anymore. I have to just do things even if it scares me. And I just wish I had people that believed in me or supported me in that. And like, they just said that, you know, like, like, I wish. And I do. my niece is just so sweet. She indulges me in all of my dreams and like fantasies or whatever, you know. And she's like, oh, you want to move to LA? Like, that's amazing. You want to be famous one day? I love that for you. And, you know, of course, she's 9, so she's getting to that point where things are becoming a little more realistic for her. And she's like, well, what if it doesn't happen? And I'm just like, I have to believe. And that's it. If I believe in myself, I think it can take me really far. And that brightens her up. And she's just like, okay, when you move to LA and you make all this money and like you're gonna have a mansion and like I'm gonna live with you. And I'm like, okay. Like, but it's still like, it's so supportive. There is no but with it, or like any hesitancy with it. It's just, I support you all the way, and that's it. There is no, yeah, I support you, but, you know, maybe be realistic, or I support you, but are you sure you can handle it? It's like, it doesn't help. It doesn't help. So that's why I'm like, I gotta get all my priorities in order so that way I can leave. And it sounds a little harsh, but I want to prove people wrong. Is that such a crime? I don't think so. I think that's just me being determined and me being confident and believing in myself. And I'm just not used to doing that. I'm always very, not eager, but I'm very prone to accepting what people say, like I said earlier. When people do try to gaslight me, I guess, into thinking that I can't do something, I will tend to believe them and say, yeah, you know what? I never thought of it that way. Maybe I should be nervous. Maybe I should be scared. And maybe I shouldn't do it after all. And I can't do that. Not anymore. So if I do end up going MIA again, you know why. I'm just busy sending out job applications. Obviously, if I hear good news and stuff, I'm gonna run over here instantly and be like, it's happening, yo, it's happening. And then that's when, like, that's when the fear is gonna set in. And that's when I'm gonna say, ooh, did I girl boss too close to the sun? We'll get there when we get there. But that's it for now. See, I rambled. I should put a timer on these things. Well,